this is Marjabin Baloch, and you're watching my YouTube channel Insani Itihad, which aims to invoke a little bit of humanity in all of us through awareness and understanding. So today I want to discuss in regards to what I understand of the concept of Mikvah, that is ritual immersion or bathing in a water body. Which is an essential part of the Jewish theology in regards to purification of the body. So generally it is used by women to purify themselves from the monthly cycle of menstruation, but it is also used for people who want to convert to Judaism. So the conversion, a major part of the conversion, or shall I say the ultimate step into conversion, is that a potential convert, both either gender, male, female, is obligated to immerse in the water body or a water facility and immerse completely into that water body, and then come out, and then he or she is from a Gentile to a Jew. And also mikvah is used, or the ritual purification and dipping into the water body is obligated for people who get in touch or get in contact with a dead body. But usually the more or less it's the women who are using this water body for their monthly purification. Personally, as a woman and as an aspirant convert, I will be dipping into the mikvah at the final stages of my conversion into Judaism, and then it will become, for me as a Jewish woman, it would become a part of life, as in to purify myself every month for that, for the ritual purification of the monthly cycle that the woman goes through. Of course, women who have menopause, they do not go for such dippings or bathing. Also, men and women, couples who get married, before getting married, it's a tradition that both bride to be and the groom to be go into a mikvah and dip to renew their bodies and have certain amount of blessings into their bodies and into their new marital life. So this is something both bride and a groom go through. Also, there are women who do ritual bathing when they're pregnant or they're planning to get pregnant, and after they deliver their baby. Obviously they do go through a ritual bathing in a mikvah so that they are purified again to consume intimate relationship with their partners, with their husbands, and all that. So personally, I have understood mikvah in a more physical and a different way, which I would like to share here with you all. The way I see mikvah as in regards to nida is a woman who is ritually impure or going through her monthly period cycle. So if I see in that context, I would like to explain the way I see it as an aspirant convert, that for me, I feel a woman's body and this woman's cycle of menstruation is somewhat equal to a nuclear facility. Yes, not even kidding. So in the beginning of the cycle, there is this new egg is formed, and there is a potential that that egg can transform into a new life, a new human being, if combined with the intimate closeness of the spouse or your partner. And if that doesn't happen, that egg uh, gets like a nuclear, explosion. It explodes within and releasing this intense amount of energy within the body of a woman, and the woman's body becomes, the waste products are going out of her system through the menstruation days. But the energy that it has released, the intense amount of heat and energy it has released, stays in the body. And that literally the death of those chromosomes and those dead cells are getting out of the system of a woman so that she could be renewed. But to cool off that heat, that power, that negativity that killed that chromosome, killed that egg, which could have been fertile, but it didn't. So, to cool off this, nuclear body, just like the nuclear reactor after the nuclear infusion, it is poured into a cold water body to cool it off. For women to go into a mikvah and immerse deeply into the mikvah and cool herself, renew herself, and purify herself from this intense and nuclear sort of an experience, and cool her off, rejuvenate herself and her body spiritually as well as physically, and then be ready for another cycle of maybe a fertilization, or again a nuclear reactor which just kills the chromosome and the egg, and then you cool off, and then the cycle goes on. So I see it like that it's just so funny. The cell is represented by this round circle, and also the egg of a woman's body is represented into like this round shape. So it, this physics analogy of a cell having a nuclear fusion, and an egg which is going through the self-destruction or self-infusion within the body of a woman, and then getting out of the system of the woman, and then she sort of goes into a mikvah, immerses herself, cools herself, cleans herself, and then gets rejuvenated, gets that energy for another cycle, for another egg to be born and to be potentially get fertilized. So personally, I see it like that, and I think it's such a beautiful concept. By the way, just to mention, a woman, from the day that she has started menstruating, on the 13th or 14th day, she is supposed to go dip into the mikvah. So it's like that, 5 days of the flow of the blood, and then 7 days to make sure that there is no separation of any blood, and all the materials have passed out of the woman's body. And on after the 7th day, that is like 8th day, on the 9th or the 9th day, that is the 13th day after the woman has started menstruating, or the 14th day that the woman has started menstruating, she will go into a mikvah and dip herself. And there are certain percentages. The mikvah itself is a water body composed of tap water, or the water which comes in the supply lines, and a certain amount of rainwater or fresh water, like rivers, lakes, or oceans. A natural body of water should be a part of that, and part of the water that we get in our tabs, mixed in a big pool, where you have to go down and you have to completely immerse yourself and go down, like in complete immersion into that body, and then just come out. There is a blessing that the woman has to say, and there are different blessings for a convert, different blessings for a niddah woman who needs to purify herself, a different blessing for a bride who comes from mikvah, a different blessing for someone who has been in contact with a dead body. And then you have to say that prayer, and eventually you get purified, or you get that negative energy out of your system, out of your spirit, out of your body. So it's such a, for me personally, I feel Shabbat, Mikvah, these sort of concepts, which I initially learned when I was studying regarding Judaism, and they just completely inspired me, and both spiritually and physically. And one more thing, it is said in the Jewish theology that if a Jewish community has limited resources and it wants to create a Jewish life within the community, the first thing they should do is build a mikvah way before they would build a synagogue or, a congregation and stuff. The first thing they should do is build a mikvah. And as a woman, that makes me feel that we are at the center of the Jewish community and the Jewish life. And this tells the huge amount of respect and concentration goes out to the women and the womanhood, and the importance of women rejuvenating herself after her menstrual cycles and in her life cycle, like being pregnant or becoming a wife, becoming a bride, and then all this. So this concept in Mikvah has inspired me so much, and I hope it is same for all those people who already use the Mikvah as Jewish women and women who are aspirant to convert. I think it's a very wonderful concept for them to understand how Judaism values a woman's body, women's contribution, and women's health, spiritual, physical, and of course mental health. Because I feel going into that mikvah and regenerating yourself or cleansing yourself through water, because water represents life, is such a beautiful concept. So I hope you like this explanation, and I hope it was informative. Thank you very much.